Alrighty, it is PS2 time, PlayStation 2. I just checked, I have 264 titles. My PS2 collection has grown quite a bit over the last couple years, so much so that I have maxed out this shelf. If you can see down there, I mean, I can move them all up, but I've got my PS1 games up there, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. And honestly, it has kept me from buying more PS2 games in the last couple months because I know as soon as I buy one more PS2 game, we have to redo this whole shelf, and it's just not something I'm really looking forward to right now. As far as um, consoles, I do over there have a PS2 Slim sitting over there next to the Super Nintendo, with two corded controllers and some memory cards. So if I do want to play kind of the classic PS2 CRT feel, kind of how it was in the early 2000s when we all had a PS2, I can play over there, which I have done in the past. And then I also have a backwards compatible PS3 hooked up to the big OLED there. So I can also play games that way if I want to. PS2 was a weird time. I think I've talked about this before for me. PS3 is my favorite console because I was an adult when I got it, and I had that adult money and started playing games. PS2 was kind of my high school years, so had other things going on, especially in the later part of the PS2 era. But I have since gone back and started collecting again, and so there's some games in here that I love. There's some that I never played, and as you can see, I have a pretty sweet selection of games, and I guess let's get into it. 264 games, so we need to first zoom back a little bit. All right, first up, we got a couple 007 games. We've got Everything or Nothing, and then we've got Nightfire. I have a sealed copy of 13, which I do remember playing, and it's not that great, honestly. I've got 24, the game. Never seen the show. Honestly, don't even know why I have that game. That could be one I could get rid of because I don't know anything about 24. I probably got that in a lot back in the early PS2 collecting days. We've got Ace Combat 4. We've got Airborne Troops Countdown to D-Day. We've got Alien Hominid. It's got that SMU at the top, which I don't like. PS2 games are harder to find in minty perfect condition. Most of my games are in really good condition, but like that one, I gotta take what I can get. American Chopper. We've got Ant Bully. Ark the Lad. Twilight of the Spirits. Army Man Green Rogue. Atari Anthology. We've got the 4 ATV Off-Road Fury games, which I did play back in the PS2 days. ATV Off-Road Fury. Got ATV Off-Road Fury 2. Got ATV Off-Road Fury 3. And ATV Off-Road Fury 4. I do have a lot of random movie tie-ins. I always just say that the PS2 and PS3, to an extent, was kind of the end of the movie tie-in games. But Bad Boys, Miami Takedown, I still want to play that game. I love the Bad Boys movies. I've never tried that. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. We've got The Bard's Tale. We've got Batman Begins and Batman Vengeance. We've got another tie-in with Battlestar Galactica. Love the show. I almost said new show, but the remade show from the 20 years ago now. Big Mother Truckers and Big Mother Truckers 2. We've got Bionicle. We've got Black. Boogie. Another movie. No, this isn't. I saw the title and I almost said this is the Brave movie tie-in. I have that on PS3. This is Brave: The Search for the Spirit Dancer. Not sure what that game is. Brother in Arms Earned in Blood, and Brother in Arms Road to Hill 30. We've got the Bully games, a Rockstar game that I always wanted to try, but I've still not tried. We've got Burnout Dominator. Burnout games were always fun back in the day. Burnout Revenge. And then Burnout 3 Takedown. Now we're getting into the Call of Duties. Was not big into the Call of Duties in the PS2 era. So I have not played any of these. I have not played Call of Duty Finest Hours, Call of Duty 2 Big Red One, or Call of Duty 3. I've got Conflict Desert Storm, Conflict Desert Storm 2. So I've got my military shooters there. A couple Crash games that I think I've played Wrath of Cortex, actually. I just don't really remember it. I definitely have not played Crash Twinsanity. Crazy Taxi. Finally, to some games I can gush about a little bit. The Dark Cloud games. Specifically, Dark Cloud 1. I have a lot of memories with this game and the city building elements. Didn't play a ton of Dark Cloud 2. I would like to get back into it. But yeah, those are great games. With a little bit of everything. You get some dungeon, some JRPG stuff, and some city building. Defender. We got Delta Force Black Hawk Down. We've got Demon Stone. We have Destroy All Humans. I need to get the sequel. I do not have that. I have the three PS2 Devil May Cries and Devil May Cry, and then Devil May Cry 2. I've never played a Devil May Cry game. And Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening Special Edition. We're into our Disney section of the PS2 game. Sorry for the washing machine noises. We've got Cars. We've got Disney's Finding Nemo. And a hidden gem of a movie. Never played the game, but Disney's Treasure Planet. Talking about a game that I still play today. Put in the PS2 and just relive the fun. Downhill Domination. If you are still craving that Road Rash high from the PS1 days and the Sega Genesis days, I highly recommend this game. This is a fun bicycle game with the same kind of mechanics, and it's really fast paced, and you're going downhill, and it's still fun to play. That is a game I put in the PS2 on occasion and play. Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Budokai 2. I do not have Budokai 3. I do need to get that. And then I also have Budokai Tenkaichi. I've got Dragon Ball Z Sagas, which is supposed to be a bad Dragon Ball game, but I've never tried it. We've got Driver 3. Drome Racers. Enter the Matrix. It was a crazy game at the time. Eternal Ring, which I think I have on... I feel like I have that on PS3 as well. Family Guy, the video game. I've been wanting... This is in my backlog because I just want to play it. I don't think it's supposedly the best game in the world, but Falling Stars. And then another tie-in, the original Fantastic Four. And now let's move on to the second row. All right, second row here, we've got Fast and the Furious. That's it. That's the title of that game. A lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy. This game I did play on the PS2 originally back in the day. And yeah, it was revolutionary at the time. Final Fantasy X. I've even played Final Fantasy X Part 2. And both are great. I would love to go back and replay them. I just have so many Final Fantasies that I haven't played that I feel like I deserve at least a try before I go back and play the Final Fantasies that I love. But one day I will go back and play those. Final Fantasy 12 I've tried to give a chance so many times. I think I talked about that in the PS4 collection. I just can't get into the combat. Ford Racing 2. We've got Frequency, which I think is like a rhythm game. Another pickup this year was Friends. I love the show Friends. I still think it's one of the greatest shows ever made. And this is a Friends trivia game. We've got Garfield Lasagna World Tour. We've got The Getaway. We've got GoldenEye Rogue Agent. So I guess technically another 007 game, but it doesn't have 007 in it, which is why it's not with the 007 games. Maybe I should move it up there. We got Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4. Now we're into the classic Grand Theft Autos from the PS2 era. Once again, like most everybody else, this was my introduction into Grand Theft Auto. And wow, many hours of my life playing these games. Grand Theft Auto 3 was the one I played the most, honestly. Because like I said, towards the end of the PS2 era, when these other Grand Theft Autos were coming out, I was not playing a lot of PlayStation. But I did play some San Andreas and Vice City, and I have the collection on PS4, so I do need to go back and replay them at some point in time. We've got Gun. We've got Headhunter Redemption. I do have some bloatware, so I guess that's one thing I could do is get rid of some of these games that are just came in collections. Just shelf filler stuff that I'm never going to play. Like, am I really going to play High Rollers Casino? I need to get rid of that. Maybe we keep High School Musical, sing it. I don't know. History Battle for the Pacific. We've got Hitman Blood Money. And then Hitman Contracts, I think is what that one's called. Yeah, Contracts. We got Hot Shots Golf 3, Hot Shot Golf 3, and Hot Shots Golf 4. We've got a couple Hot Wheel games in Stunt Track Challenge and Velocity X Maximum Justice. What a title. Another movie tie-in with a movie that I love. I've never played the game, The Italian Job. I need to do that. Just play a bunch of old movie tie-in games. We've got the Jack trilogy here. We've got Jack and Dexter, The Precursor Legacy. We've got Jack 2. And then we've got Jack 3. That is the hole in my Naughty Dog game playing. I've never played the Jack games. I do need to play them. Other than I have played Jack X Combat Racing, because I just love kart racers so much. But I've never played the original trilogy. I have the trilogy on PS3. So it's probably remastered in HD if I remember correctly. We have another movie game in Jaws Unleashed. We have another trivia game, I guess, or just game show gaming. I cannot get that out of there. But it is Jeopardy! Oh, Alex Trebek. Can't get rid of that one. Even though I'm not the biggest Jeopardy guy. Man, what is with... I struggle on these PS2 games every year. Juiced. And I have Juiced 2 somewhere. KO Round 2, The Kangaroo. We've got some Karaoke Revolution games, which I do have the mics and everything for this stuff. And I have the iToy somewhere around here. But we got Karaoke Revolution Party. We've got Karaoke Revolution American Idol. We've got whatever that is. Volume 1, I guess. Yeah, because the other one was Revolution Party. This is Volume 2. And Volume 3. I bet there's some good music in there. I wouldn't get rid of those just for, maybe want to do a little karaoke one day. We have Katamari Damacy, the original game. And then the first Killzone. Very interesting game. So once again, I've never played Kingdom Hearts, but I have these games on PS3 and PS4. But they do look like my kind of games. There's Kingdom Hearts 2. We've got Kaya, Dark Lineage, Legacy of Kain Defiance. We've got Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures. Yep, so now we're to my Lego games. We've got Lego Racers 2. We've got Lego Star Wars, the video game. Not a ton of Lego games for the PS2, or I don't have a ton of Lego games for the PS2. We've got Lethal Skies. It looks like a fighter jet game. We've got Looney Tunes Back in Action. Now we got 3 Lord of the Rings games. We have the Return of the King. We have the Third Age. And I think this is the Two Towers. The Two Towers. We have Mark of the Cree. We have Max Payne, the first one. We have Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. Now we got some Medal of Honor games with European Assault, Frontline, and Vanguard. Then we have Mega Man X Command Mission. Then we have some Metal Gear Solid games. We've got Metal Gear 2. This is the Substance. I think it's the better version of the game. Same with Metal Gear Solid 3. I have Substance. I don't know. It's Substance and Subsistence. I bet I mess those up every year. We got the Midnight Club and Midnight Club 2. I know some people that were obsessed with these games back in the day. More games that Rockstar used to make back in the day that we don't make anymore. And then we have Midway Arcade Treasures 1, which has stuff like Joust, which I freaking love. And now we move on to the third row, where we start with Midway Arcade Treasures 2. Another movie tie-in in Minority Report. Great movie. Getting ready to get it on 4K Steelbook. Have not played the tie-in game. Mojo. Monster Jam. Mortal Kombat Deception. Got Motocross Mania 3. MX vs. ATV Unleashed. Pretty sure I have that on PS3 as well. We've got Namco Museum. And now we're going to get into the Need for Speed games. I think these are all the PS2 Need for Speed games. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. Because I think there's some cross ones. And I know I have them all on PS3. So, more than likely, there's some I'm missing for PS2. But here's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. It's a great game. Need for Speed Most Wanted. And we have the Undergrounds, some people's favorite Need for Speed still to this day, in Underground and Underground 2. I play me some Need for Speeds. I don't know what it is about them. Kind of a shame because I think the franchise is kind of dead. I think Unbound or whatever was the last one. Okami, I played the PS4 remaster of that. Onimushu, goodness, what is with my speaking today? Orphan Scion of Sorcery. We've got some Pac-Man games in Pac-Man Fever and Pac-Man World 2. We've got some more shovelware and pinball. I don't know, I like pinball games. Maybe I'd hold on to this one. But Pinball Hall of Fame, the Gottlieb Collection. We got a Pirates of the Caribbean game here. Legend of Jack Sparrow. Got PopCats Hits Volume 1. Pretty sure there was only ever a Volume 1. It comes with Bejeweled 2 and some kind of brick out game. Power Drome. Wasn't there another drone game a minute ago? I feel like there was. I totally forgot what it was or where it was, but it must have started with something different than the word power. Primal. We got Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. I think Sands of Time is the one that's getting a remake right now, which is pretty exciting. And Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. I remember playing Sands of Time and a little bit of Two Thrones. I don't think I ever got to Warrior Within. Oh, I remember playing this. This is a recent pickup too. PsyOps, the Mindgate Conspiracy. I remember playing that on PS2. That was a fun game. Mind Powers, R Racing Evolution. Now we've got our Ratchet games for the PS2. We've got the original, the OG Ratchet and Clank. We've got Deadlocked. We've got Going Commando. And we have Size Matters. And we also have Up Your Arsenal. We've got Rebel Raiders. And then we're getting into specifically the second one of this franchise that was like my Halo, I guess this wouldn't be the N64 times, but everybody was playing GoldenEye. Me and my family and brother and sisters were playing Red Faction 2, and still play to this day. The controls do not hold up that well, but still a little ahead of its time with the destructible environments, and I just can remember having Sniper Wars and just a ton of fun with Red Faction 2. I actually have that game digitally on PS4 as well. Reign of Fire is another movie tie-in game. Resident Evil 4. Never been a big Resident Evil guy. We've got Ridge Racer 5. I am a big Risk guy, though. I'm playing Risk right now on Steam. This is Risk Global Domination. Wish they would bring back Risk Factions. Played that so much on the Xbox 360. That would be cool. Rogue Galaxy was an RPG recommended to me that I still have not tried. Rumble Racing is a fun game that I remember renting a ton back in the day. We've got Sega Sports Tennis, some more shovelware that I could probably get rid of. Shrek Super Slam. Now we're getting into some Sims games. We've got the OG original Sims. I remember getting this game on PS2 and not liking it. It's very different in the controls and things from the Sims on PC, which I was obsessed with and loved the Sims on the PC. Sims 2 Castaways, never tried that expansion, and the Sims 2 Pets. Now we're getting to the SingStar games. Once again, like the karaoke games. You just like to have these. I have the mics and stuff, so why not? We have SingStar 80s, SingStar Amped, SingStar Country, SingStar Pop, and SingStar Pop 2. These would be cool, I just think, to just go back and listen to what was popular in the early 2000s when these were coming out. SingStar Rocks. We've got Sledstorm, snowmobile game. We've got our Sly games, which I have remastered on the PS3. But we have Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoon. This would be the Sucker Punch games that are a hole in my gaming. I've not played a ton of Sly. A little here and there, but really just not sat down and tried to play them. As much as I like the Ghost games and Infamous, I feel like I would probably like these. So here's Sly 2, Band of Thieves, and Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. I need to give them a try. Smuggler's Run and Smuggler's Run 2, more Rockstar games. PS2 has a lot of Rockstar games. We've got SOCOM US Navy SEALs. We've got SOCOM 2. This was Sony trying to be doing their Call of Duty. SOCOM 3, my brother was super into the SOCOM games. I could never get into them. And SOCOM Combined Assault. My one Sonic game for PS2, and that is Sonic Heroes. I'm sure there's more. Soul Calibur 2. I mean, these are classics. Played a ton of these back in the day. We played Bloody Roar more, and that is a hole in my fighting game collection because we were big Bloody Roar fans. I think there's one or two PS2 games, and then there's like 3 Bloody Roars on the PS1. I don't have a single Bloody Roar. I need to get the Bloody Roar games, but they're expensive and hard to find. But we did play Soul Calibur 2 and 3, specifically 3, I remember, because that's the one that had the Star Wars characters in it, didn't it? Or maybe that's the PS3 version. I don't know. One of the Soul Caliburs I remember had Yoda and Vader in it. Then we have the Sam Raimi tie-in games with Spider-Man. Then we have to go down to the floor pretty much. But we have Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. I've not played these. I would imagine they don't hold up that well. And then Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Their PS2 Spider-Man game I have not played. Splashdown, Rides Gone Wild. Of course, I played the Splashdown games. SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Not the biggest SpongeBob guy. Spy Hunter. And I just dropped it. We've got the only Spyro I have for PS2 in Enter the Dragonfly. Then we have SSX and SSX3. What happened to SSX2? I don't know. I don't have it. And that does bug me. I know that's hard to believe, but I need SSX2 in there. Star Ocean, Till the End of Time. I don't have fond memories of that game. You know, you gotta be the next game after Star Ocean 2, which is a great game. Then we have a Star Trek game and Star Trek Encounters. Now we're getting into the classics, Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2. Of course, I played these games. I mean, who didn't play Battlefront? Come on. We have Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I don't think I ever played that one. Definitely did not play the movie tie-in for Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, even though I do love that movie. I did play some pod racing. Of course, I mainly played the 360. I almost said the 360 version. The N64 version. Yeah, this is like the sequel or kind of port of that to the PS2. Never played Starfighter. And now we got some crazy ones we got Super Bombad Racing, which looks like a kart racer with big bobbleheads. And then Star Wars The Clone Wars. I guess a tie-in to the animated movie, which is not that great. I mean, I like a lot of Star Wars fans. I found love in the Clone Wars later, but the movie was not it. State of Emergency. This was another Rockstar game that I always kind of wanted to play. It always cracked me up because it has the warning check ID sticker on it. It's too adult. Some more shovelware. We got Strike Force Bowling. Definitely could get rid of that. We've got the original Stuntman game. Then we've got some Suikoden games. So now that I have 1 and 2 remastered on PS5, those games were notoriously hard to get for PS1. I just need Suikoden 5, and then I would have them all. But here's Suikoden 3. I played a ton of this back in the day. It's nowhere near as good as 2, but it's enjoyable. 4, I didn't play it a bunch of. I think my brother has spoke pretty positively about this game. I also know the online community likes this game. I didn't play it, so I don't know. I need to probably go back and play it. And then I also have never played Suikoden Tactics, but since Suikoden has tactics in their games, I'm imagining that it is just that. And I do like tactics games. So we got beach volleyball, the voluptuous lady down there on there. We've got Super Trucker Racing, or Super Trucks Racing. We got Tales of Legendia, my only PS2 Tales game. I'm sure there are more. That is the only one I currently have. We have Tekken Tag Tournament. We have Test Drive. We've got Tetris Worlds. I like me some Tetris. Tricky Towers is a fun Tetris game on the PSN. We still play that. Fire it up on the PS5 occasionally. Thrillville, kind of an amusement theme park simulator. Now we're into our Tom Clancy games. I had a roommate in college who was obsessed with specifically Ghost Recon. I could never get into them, but here we go. We've got Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. We've got Ghost Recon 2. We've got Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. I actually think that is the game he was obsessed with, and he, of course, played on PC. We have Ghost Recon Jungle Storm. Ghost Recon Splinter Cell. And Ghost Recon Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. There are a lot of Tom Clancy games there. Have I played a single one other than Advanced Warfighter on the PC? I think that's about the only one I've ever played, and I did not like it. Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness. Supposedly that is a really bad Tomb Raider game that I've never played. And then Lara Croft Tomb Raider Legend. Those were the games before we got the reboot on PS3, which is, I love. And this was kind of in the downward trend of Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk 2 is my favorite Tony Hawk game still. But we have American Wasteland. Downhill Jam was pretty fun, I think. We have Pro Skater 3, which I also have on PS1. And Pro Skater 4. I have all 1 through 4 remastered on PS5 now, which is cool. Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. And Tony Hawk's Underground. I guess this would be the next ones to be remaking. Tony Hawk's Underground 2. A lot of Tony Hawk's games in the PS2 and 1 eras. We've got Transformers, the game. So movie tie-in game. We've got Trans Surf World. Some more shovelware that I could probably get rid of. I don't need a surfing game. Tribes Aerial Assault. What a crazy game. We got a sealed copy of Trigger Man. The great price of $14.99. Trivial Pursuit. Unhinged. Thank you, Washing Machine. Twisted Metal Black. Freaking love this game. This is another game that we played a ton on my PS2 back in the day. We played Twisted Metal 2 and 3 a bunch as well on the PS1 days. But, man, Black was just incredible. Oh, my gosh. The washing machines. Twisted Metal Head On. I'm pretty sure this is a PSP game with the that they ported over to PlayStation 2. I've never played it. I always kind of wanted to. I have a feeling it probably doesn't hold up well. Ty the Tasmanian something Tiger. I think there's more than one of those. Probably a 3D platform would be my guess. Ultimate Board Game Collection. 20 classic games. I would say that was shovelware, but that kind of sounds interesting to me. Unreal Tournament, played a bunch of this, played even more of the PS3 version, and we played Unreal Tournament, gosh, I think it was 2004 on the PC a ton. Once again, it was these kind of shooters that I was into over like the 007s. I did play Halo back in the day, but I got more into Halo in the Halo 2 and 3 days. Unreal Tournament was my shooter, especially console shooter, very fast-paced shooting. Honestly wish they would make another Unreal Tournament. They never will, but I loved those games back in the day. We got Beautiful Joe, really cool, cel-shaded, kind of like movie studio kind of games. Really fun little platforming. I need to play them again, but I have them both there. I've got Wipeout Fusion, for that classic Wipeout, and then some more shovelware. World something of cards, World Championship of Cards. We got another poker game, World Championship of Poker. We got another poker game, All In. Yeah, I need to get rid of some of this shovelware. The official World Series Poker. I don't need, this one's sealed. I don't need these poker games. I guess that's one way I could free up some space without having to redo the whole shovel. Is just get rid of some of that shovelware. X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2. That is all the PS4 games. I think that's what I'm going to do. Next year, you're going to see a leaner PS2 collection, because what I ended up doing when I was like, I want to start collecting for PS2 again, I started buying collections up from people, and, so it's got a lot of shelf filler that I don't need. I'd rather trade that stuff in and get games that I really want. Like Suikoden 5, I would love to have. The Bloody Roar game, I think it's Bloody Roar 4, is on PS2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade in that stuff, and I'm going to look for those games at McKay's. But what do you guys think of the PS2 collection? What other cool PS2 games? Because like I said, I was kind of out of it for like half the PS2 era. So what cool PS2 games did I miss? Know that I'm not super into horror games, so don't really like those. I like JRPGs, I like platformers. I like military shooters, stuff like that. That's my cup of tea. Racers, especially like kart racers and arcade racers. So until next time. This is Randy Cage. We got PS1 coming up next.